Well, that takes me to my third point. Local and regional leaders are innovating to resolve these challenges, but they cannot go it alone. Across the U.S., city and suburban leaders are at the cutting edge of innovation, bubbling up the energy and ideas for national change. Metros like Greater Cleveland, Milwaukee, Raleigh-Durham, San Diego, they're making strategic investments in the clusters that drive their economies, and the myriad institutions, job training firms, community colleges, research universities, which support those clusters. Yet a metro can't go it alone. A metro can focus on building its economic strengths, but its economy is profoundly influenced by federal monetary, trade, regulatory, and investment policies. Metros like Greater Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami, New York are building the middle class by working to integrate immigrants into mainstream economies, produce affordable workforce housing close to employment hubs, and boost educational attainment rates. Yet a metro cannot go it alone. A metro can focus on reducing income disparities, but only the federal government can close the gap between wages and the cost of living. Metros like Greater Dallas, Denver, Kansas City, and Seattle are trying to grow in sustainable ways by remaking traditional downtowns, investing in state-of-the-art transit, or advancing the building of energy-efficient housing. Yet again, a metro cannot go it alone. A metro area can focus on environmental sustainability, but only the federal government can regulate industries on a national scale. A rapidly changing world, in short, demands an accountable, strategic, dependable partner at the national level if metros are to resolve their myriad challenges and realize their full potential. Our global competitors are beginning to provide this kind of leadership. China is well on its way to building the most sophisticated network of ports and freight hubs in the world while trying to replicate our network of advanced research institutions and universities. Germany is strengthening the rail and telecommunication connections between major metro hubs like Berlin and Hamburg and Frankfurt and Munich and the rest of their country. Spain has become a hothouse of alternative energy production in wind and solar power, spawning new specializations and jobs in finance, legal investment, and other fields. Yet America's metros find our national government strangely adrift, ignorant of the dynamic changes sweeping the country and the new spatial geography of our economy. Our federal government is mostly a legacy government, a collection of ossified agencies carrying out decades-old programs and policies through means and mechanisms suited to a pre-internet world. As a result, our federal government is out of step with rapid change and is failing to leverage those assets that drive secure and sustained prosperity. We know that innovation is the fuel that drives our economy and the key to unlocking sustainable solutions. And past federal investments in science unleashed new domestic markets in healthcare and information technology. Yet federal information policies today are highly fragmented, insufficiently attentive to the commercialization of research, and blind to how innovation and jobs from the intense interaction of firms, industry, associations, workers, universities, and investors. The result, America's historic lead on innovation is shrinking. Productivity growth is faltering, and the nation's ability to compete in next-generation clusters like renewable energy is slipping. We know human capital is the raw material that furthers innovation. We know that education is the ticket to the middle class, and past federal policies did build a network of higher ed institutions which are the envy of the world. Yet federal education policy today is intensely compartmentalized, failing to draw the critical linkages between K through 12, college education, and skills training so that proficiency in lower grades translates into what matters, high school diplomas and college degrees. The result, America's education pipeline is leaking. The U.S. ranks 16th among industrialized nations on the share of individuals who start and then complete higher education, and with only 10 of every 100 African Americans and Latinos entering ninth grade earning a post-secondary degree. We know infrastructure is the tissue that connects us to the world, knits our nation together, and makes our metros function. And past federal investments in road, rail, and air made this country what it is today. Yet federal infrastructure policy today is an unaccountable free-for-all, geared more to building bridges to nowhere than maintaining the ones we have, developing world-class transit, or unblocking the movement of freight at our sea, rail, and air hubs. The result, physical neglect and congestion, seriously compromises the efficiency of a network that is crucial to the national interest, with a price tag conservatively estimated in the hundreds of billions. And finally, we know that quality urban places, cities and older suburbs, are critical to our ability to attract and retain innovative firms and talented workers and grow in energy-efficient and environmentally sound ways. As Secretary Cisneros would attest, federal policies in the 30s and 70s, while imperfect, did help transform the downtowns of cities like San Antonio. Yet federal housing policies today fuel the expansion of McMansions at the periphery of metropolitan areas, while failing to address the rapid suburbanization of poor people and employment opportunities. The result, dispersed low-density growth, energy sapping, congestion-inducing, fiscally dissipating, dominates the American landscape. We are simply unprepared as a nation to accommodate the next 50, let alone 120 million Americans.